Hey folks, Brendan here from Bluelight with another Facebook Live to help you succeed in the police recruitment process. Actually, if you're a serving officer and you're also preparing for an interview, a lot of the things I'm talking about here would help you in your board or in a specialist interview. Of course, there's a different Facebook group for you to join if you are a serving officer, and if you are looking to join the police, there's also an awesome Facebook group for you to join for those of you in the police recruitment journey. So check the links below if you're watching this on the replay, or ask me in the comments if you're watching this live for the links to those groups. It'd be awesome to have you on board in those groups. So for those of you who haven't seen any of these Facebook Lives before, I've been doing this now for 26 years. I've been helping people to succeed in the police promotion process, specialist interviews as a serving officer for 26 years. I've been helping people to succeed in the police recruitment journey now for over a decade. So there's not much I don't know about the police recruitment process. So any questions that you have, please do fire away in the comments, or if you're watching this on a replay on YouTube, stick it in the comments and I'll get back to you, or message me on Facebook. So tonight I'm going to share with you 10 top tips for your interview, specifically for the online assessment centre interview. I've just finished a 2-hour webinar with members of my online course for the Online Assessment Centre plus webinars package. What this means is that you can attend as many practice webinars as you want, and you get access to previous course webinars as well. So there's new people on the course who've just joined this particular course. This is course 15 of 2022, but there's also people who they've been coming to the courses for months now. So they started on, some of them started on course number 11. These are the ones that are planning well ahead, knowing that they've got an online assessment centre coming up soon, making sure they do everything they can to make sure that they're ready for it. A few shout outs before I start with this top 10, because the learning tonight was just awesome. We've had some brilliant learning, some really challenging conundrums, and I'm going to share some of those with you to help you prepare for your online assessment centre. So first of all, we've got Laura. Laura, you don't have to watch this. Actually, you do. You've got your interview coming up soon, haven't you? So huge big round of applause. Cheesy, I know, sorry. But Laura, well done. I know how much work you put into preparing for the online assessment centre, and it's paid off. I know that you've passed. Thank you for sharing that with me. And I'm not breaching any confidentiality here, just in case you're thinking about it. It could be thousands of Lauras out there, but I know which Laura, and it doesn't crop up on the feed for anyone else, just in case you're thinking Laura. There are other people know my second name. No, they don't. Laura, there's another Laura watching as well, so welcome to you. Marquetta is watching. She's saying good evening to you, Marquetta. And then there's Dom, Abby, Jordan, Louise. Laura's actually saying thank you for all your help. I'm looking forward to seeing you, Laura, on the interview webinars. There's one coming up this Sunday evening. Looking forward to seeing you there and helping you to succeed in that next stage. We've got Keith McDonut is watching as well. What an awesome name. Keith McDonut, brilliant. I love it. Actually, I shouldn't say that because Keith could come back to me and say, actually, that's my real name. McDonut is my surname. What you on about, Brendan? Anyway, let's get to the point. So if it is, I'm really sorry, Keith. Laura's saying, I'll be there. I know you've got access, Laura, so all is good. I'll see you then. All right, so top tips. Oh, Ben's joined us as well. Oh, so Simon and Peter and Afsal has joined us as well. Awesome to have you on board. So first of all, I know you've got 5 minutes to answer your question, but that doesn't mean to say you've got to speak twice as fast as you normally do. On several of my notes here from the practice questions that we did in the webinar, I've written here, too fast. Slow down. Why is it so important you slow down? Well, the people who are assessing you are just waiting for you to say certain things in certain ways, demonstrate certain behaviours so they can tick boxes and give you the best marks on the marking guide. If you go too fast that they can't actually understand you, they won't rewind your video because it's not being assessed live. They get an uplink to listen to and watch your your recording onto the cloud, the College of Policing cloud, and then they just play it back. They're not going to play it back twice. They're not going to go back a little bit and then play it again and go back a little bit and play it again. They're being paid per candidate, is my guess. So they're not going to do that. So if you go too fast and they can't understand you, they're just not going to mark you. So slow down. Slow down. And keep it simple. And keep it simple. Because too many of you are overcomplicating your story. Second point, be clear about what the problem is. Okay, so many of you give an account of something, but you're not clear about what the actual problem is or the challenge is. This goes for any interview. You need to be clear at the very beginning about what the challenge or problem was. Okay, so number 3, too much story and not enough detail. So you've experienced something and you are giving me every part of that actual problem, the solutions, how you implemented them, what you did next, and then what you did next, and then what you did next, and what you did next. Too much story and not enough detail. I only want one part of it, which is how you address the problem. I don't want what you did next, and what you did next, and what the impact was, and then something else happened, and then something else happened. And as I got today with one of my one-to-one clients, another example is, no, one example per answer. That's all they want. So, too much story and not enough detail. We want detail. Number 4, bingo. The amount of times I wanted to shout bingo tonight. Here's an example. During all of this, I demonstrated I was emotionally aware. I was a decisive decision maker. I acted calmly, professionally, and open-mindedly in managing this problem with empathy and understanding. I effectively delegated to others, and I learnt that I can be emotionally aware and not get overwhelmed. Bingo. Honestly, who is telling you to do this? Who is telling you that you need to get the competency and values framework, pick a load of buzzwords from it, and just repeat them? It's going to get you nowhere. It's going to get you nowhere. And if it is on a final interview, you are going to get stopped. Or at the end of it, they're going to go, that was a really interesting list of behaviours from the competency and values framework. How exactly did you do emotionally aware? How exactly did you demonstrate that you were open-minded in this example? So, and you're just going to go, oh, don't know, I just used a load of buzzwords because it sounded good. And they're asking that question because they know you've used a load of buzzwords because you think it sounds good. So don't. I know there's books out there that tell you to do so, but honestly, I've been doing this for 26 years in the police sector, as a police officer, not as someone who was never a police officer, and I don't do anything else. I just do police. I'll show you how to become a police officer. Not anything else. And it's because I was one, and I still am one, as in my heart, I'm still a police officer. It doesn't ever go away. There's still a connection that's never going to go away. And I'm just loving supporting all of you to succeed. So you just got to forget some of that advice out there. Number 5, it wasn't exciting enough, my answer. This particular client thought that they had to deliver something that was exciting for the assessor to hear. You're not on stage. You're not there to entertain. And they actually used in their answer, they said, I came up with something new and exciting. No, it wasn't. It wasn't new and exciting at all. It was new, but it wasn't exciting. No, don't try and pretend it's something that it isn't. It's your job just to describe how you behaved. I've had so many people as well at final interview practice I've done with them, where they've said, well, won't they get a bit bored of me talking about me? That's what you're there for, to talk about you. And they are there to listen to you talking about you. No, they're not going to get bored, but nor are they going to get excited by it. Well, they might do if it's, I mean, there's 1 or 2 times when I thought, that's just an awesome answer. The values you've demonstrated there, awesome. But you're not there to entertain. All right, number 6, know when to stop. This links in with what I said before, because this particular client came up with, so for example, another blah, 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 something, 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 and then what that developed into, and then da-da-da-da-da-da, big shaggy dog story, and they couldn't actually finish their answer. So we need to be cautious about that as well. So that's number 6. Number 7. Yeah, this is about integrity, and where they're going to ask you about professionalism or doing the right thing. Sadly, I think the answer is better if it comes from the workplace. Because sometimes if it comes from your personal life, as in challenging the behaviour of individuals out on the streets, certainly at final interview as well, it throws up too many questions about, was that a wise thing to do? So it throws up what I talk about here, number 8, is a conundrum. Great if it's a final interview answer, because you can explain those conundrums and explain your thoughts on what you do better next time and your considerations having had experienced this. But at your online assessment centre, it could be a bit too confusing for them to understand as the assessors. But then bear in mind, most of the assessors never had a warrant card in a pocket, so they wouldn't know anyway. Number 9. I need detail. I need detail from you. Simply saying I asked open questions about, I've actually written here, such as, I want to know what the open questions were. And certain open questions, we talked tonight about cathartic and catalytic questions and how you'd move, under what circumstances you'd be consciously competent in moving from cathartic questions to catalytic questions, and what your rationale for doing that would be. Really, really powerful stuff that will have interviewers going, ooh, this is interesting, especially at final interview. And also the importance of listening and how you actually demonstrate that you're listening. And this is one thing you can do, which is just an awesome way of demonstrating that you are listening to someone, and how you could explain that you're actually listening to someone. So we discussed that tonight as well, and how you can use that one thing to act as a bridge to the next question. And it's not Brendan's wild ideas, this. You know, that bit, the last 2 there about questions and listening and building a bridge to the next question, straight out of the PEACE training package for detectives. Just adapted for you, that's all. So there you go, folks. 10 things to help you succeed. Let's just do a few shout outs for some more people who've joined. Another Laura's joined us, and Joe and Abby. Abby is saying, I originally signed up whilst my daughter was applying, but I find your support quite inspiring. She's on a 15th week training now, and I'm a bag of nerves. Wow, what, because you're going for the job now, Abby? Are you going? Are you going for the job? That'd be awesome if you are. Or are you a bag of nerves because your daughter's now in her 15th week? Ooh, she's going to be going out on patrol soon. She'll be fine. She's joining the finest police service in the world. Full stop. I've worked abroad, and I've worked with foreign law enforcement agencies, and I've worked in Europe as well on a big project with the European Union around community engagement. And honestly, best police force in the world, honestly. Joanne's watching us, and Josh, Marketa, and Marketa saying, I had 3 days to prepare for my final interview with Cheshire, and Brendan encouraged me to go for it. Next day after the interview, I received a conditional offer. Yay, brilliant. Tip, link your answers and expand on the topic. Yeah, detail, detail, detail. Thanks, Marketa, and well done. You're going to get there. You're going to get there. You are. I feel it in my bones this time. Edward's watching, Reese is watching, Andy and Mark. Good evening to you all, and thank you for joining me tonight on this Facebook Live. Great to hear from some of our alumni there in the messages, and great to have so many success stories mentioned in the messages as well. If you want to find out how they became successful, click the links below. It's a shameless plug, but this is how you're going to get in. This is how you're going to get in. This is how you're going to guarantee that you get in first time. And if you don't get in, if you don't pass, you demonstrate you've done the work, I'll give you a full refund. That's the way it works. That's how confident I am in my service. Should be confident, shouldn't I? I've been doing it for 26 years. All right, catch up with you soon, my friends. Speak to you at the next one, or the next webinar, or the next one-to-one, or wherever we get to bump into each other. I'll catch up with you soon. Bye-bye for now.